Okay. You know, a few months ago, just before Christmas, or maybe it was January, I can't remember which. November, December, January, I don't know. Did a video about the death of fast food, and actually had a thumbnail for it and everything. Well, it's getting worse. In case you haven't noticed, people are complaining about McDonald's. I haven't eaten at McDonald's in years. See, I think we used to go when my kids liked it or used to like it. So we probably haven't frequented McDonald's in 13 years. If we've ever been, we maybe got like a biscuit in the morning or sausage biscuit or something. That's been about it. We never go to McDonald's. So Facebook was showing a thing popped up from WAVTV or something like that, but it's actually from a CNN report story by Jordan Valinsky. I'll try to put the link down below. Taco Bell and KFC are feeling the pressure from price conscious consumers. Really? So let's just take a read through it here real quick. Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut, they're too greasy anyway. The parent company is facing the same problem as its rivals. We are seeing the death of fast food. Fast food is getting too expensive and consumers are pushing back. Yum Brands, which owns all three chains, reported Wednesday weaker than expected. Okay, so when did this come out? 1 day ago. Today is Friday. So this was for February the 6th. This was released February 7th. This was released yesterday, February the 8th. I'm reading this. It's February 9th, 2024 right now. Reported Wednesday weaker than expected sales in the fourth quarter, which is the end of last year. Despite the miss, shares rebounded in midday trading after initially falling, are now up more than 3%. In particular, Taco Bell, typically the company's most popular chain, reported sales at restaurants open at least a year grew 3% for the quarter, a steep decline from the 11% growth it registered from the same quarter a year earlier. After revamping breakfast menu and the Mexican pizza refueling sales, we do go to Taco Bell. Of all the fast food joints, that's one of the few places we go, just because it's still cheaper than the rest. Let's just keep reading. Meanwhile, Pizza Hut's U.S.'s sales slid 4% in the fourth quarter, and KFC sales were flat, which means it didn't go down, it didn't go up. Both brands' numbers also coming in below analysts' expectations. In total, same-store sales at all three chains, plus Habit Burger rose of 1%. I don't even know what a Habit Burger is. I've never heard it. In quarter, missing analyst estimates at a 3.9% increase. In a call with analyst CEO David Gibbs, and the chain's top-line sales were impacted by the conflict in the Middle East region, with varying degrees of impact, which dented some same-store sales growth in several countries. Now they're not just talking about the U.S. anymore. This trend has continued for the first quarter, and we expect sales impact decreased over the course of 2024, he added. KFC's Middle East unit, so now they're talking about the Middle East and the war battle that going on over there between Palestine, Israel. I'll just leave it at that for now. Their sales have declined because of what's going on. Yum Brands is the third fast food company to report a disappointing earnings report as consumers more closely examine where they are spending their money. I wonder why. Inflation, taxes, everything going up, not just fast food, but everything. Gas. Do people not remember? It was what? It was actually Bush. After 9/11, the gas companies went. It was like 2.2 and a quarter a gallon of gas, or around $2, and it went up exponentially to $4 a gallon. Bush Jr. was president back then, and it cost us $70 for me to fill up a Chrysler van we used to have way back then, and it was insane. And my wife was yes. Yes. Okay. 2004. 2001. Obama wasn't president yet. But in 20... Okay, maybe I'm actually thinking of Obama. But I do remember the prices going up after 9/11. Bush supposedly was able to talk them down from the gouging that they were doing at the time as a result of the kind of the fear mongering from the Republicans we were getting back then. Yes, I said that because I fell for it. At the same time, I knew we needed to do something. I really thought we were going to war. We were in North Carolina at the time that happened. I remember exactly where we were. But long story short, the price of gas affects everything. So when the price of gas went up as a result of the crash in 2008, shortly after Hussein became, inaugurated in 2008, then that affected gas prices terribly. It almost went back up to $4 a gallon again. And groceries were going up. They couldn't help it. And when groceries go up, it affects us. It affects restaurants. It affects gas stations. It affects convenience stores. Everything affects the other. Fuel costs in before, I think it was before the fall, when the bottom dropped in 2008, that diesel used to be less than regular gas. Okay? It really used to be less than regular gas. Look it up. I can't pinpoint the exact year, the exact price or anything, but that's something to look up yourself, and you'll be like, well, duh, what do you know? Grillenheimer was right on this. So, yeah, diesel used to be a lot cheaper, a whole lot cheaper, because those trucks have huge tanks. I mean, a car has anywhere from about a 15 to 18 gallon tank for gas, and we're putting corn stuff in our gasoline now, which is not really good for the engines. And so now we have ethanol free gas, which is even more, which is actually better for your car. Believe it or not, but anyway, the point is that as a result of the prices getting up the fall of 2008, I remember that because my daughter was young, and that's when I was taking her to school, and my wife was going back and forth, working more than an hour away, and the price of gas was killing us, and I was charging everything. It was astronomical. That was unsustainable back then, and groceries just went up and never really came back down much, hardly at all, until after actually Trump became president. And about a year or two after his presidency, we finally saw the groceries dipping, finally, for a change, after almost 8 years or so. 8-10 years. I remember that. I wish I had the receipts to show you actual proof of my experiences. But gas, fuel affects everything, and just because they are trying to get us all to spend bukus of money we don't have for EV vehicles, which I'm so sorry, people up in the north, but yeah, they don't like to work. Battery power is affected by cold weather. Let's keep going. Part of the problem, although grocery prices are still high, they rose 1.3% overall in 2023 compared to dining out, which surged 5.2% according to the latest Consumer Price Index report. Probably a little more than that for people in California and McDonald's, from what I hear. That's putting pressure on lower income consumers, a vital base for fast food chains. However, Gibbs said, who is Gibbs? Oh, CEO David Gibbs of Yum Brands. Okay. Where'd I leave off? Taco Bell, which makes up a vast majority of Yum's U.S. sales and profits, actually, it looks like we're doing a great job of holding on to them. Um, but yeah, that's because it's Taco Bell. I mean, you still can't. The soft tacos are no longer 70 cents. Burrito Supreme is no longer a buck and a quarter. Excuse me. Yeah, a dollar and a quarter. So you used to be able to get a burrito supreme for like $1.25, maybe $1.75 for the longest time. Now, I mean, it's just astronomical. And the video I made about the death of fast food was as a result of going to Crystal's just to get a couple of Crystals for me and some chili cheese pups for my wife, and it was nearly $20 with tax. And I was floored. No drink, no fries, no combo. Maybe doing it a la carte, maybe it was a bad thing. The double cheeseburgers were over $3 a piece, and I'm just like, I paid almost $10 for these 3 double cheeseburgers, little double cheese crystals. You got to be kidding me. And I was just floored. I actually said I'd never go back to that crystal. And another one of our crystals actually, one of them closed. One of them closed way before 2020. So there's only like one crystal around here that I know of that I can go, and if we have that craving, which is getting less and less now anyway. I like the little onions, but my stomach doesn't like it. But which means you probably shouldn't eat it, right? So yeah, this was from CNN, and I'm only reading this because it popped up from a TV article in Facebook. And so there was another thing popping up in Facebook as well about people complaining about McDonald's, and I think most of them were in California because they were talking about California and In-N-Out and some other joints that I've never heard of before. That I'm in the South. We used to have Hut and Now, and when I was in college, we had Hot and Nows around here. Maybe Hot and Now turned into In-N-Out. I don't know. But we don't have In-N-Outs here. But Hot and Now used to be about, McDonald's fare. And even then it was okay. I liked it better than McDonald's, even though McDonald's has a specific taste to it. But Hot and Now is a little cheaper. It was a good competitor for McDonald's. And that's the joy of competition. You can't have competition unless people are trying to make money off their consumers. If they are trying to, the race for profit, the race for more money, the race to be able to pay their employees something and give them some benefits in return at the same time for working at that company. And when Obamacare happened, that destroyed a lot of that. That was the beginning of the destruction of all this, whether you want to believe it or not, because when people have a job, no matter how temporary, or no matter if it's a beginning and intro kind of position, you still got to have some sort of benefits, even if they're not great, even if it's a little expensive to be able to take a part of your check to be able to have it. When I lost my job back in 97, 98, I had to get on something, and it was something a part of the county that I had, and it was expensive. It was expensive because I was unemployed, and I had to do the name of that is on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember it. I don't even know if it's around anymore. But yeah, I really think we are seeing the death of fast food as the beginning of it all. And we saw it, the beginning of it, going back to 2020 when the country was almost completely closed down. Here in Alabama, not so much. We were still able to get out, but the effect of everything, we are seeing some national mom and pop places and dives that are closing because they can't keep ahead. They can't make a profit. They can't pay their employees. They can't, or even, maybe even being attacked because of they cook with gas or whatever, or maybe they all are all electric, and the price of kilowatt hours per cents or whatever, and trying to maintain their utilities is an issue. Gyaris, no. But it all is a factor, on top of just the inflation and the property taxes and whatnot, and utilities and paying your employees and trying to have a little something for yourself to be able to keep afloat, and to be able to, like, oh well, let's do this and let's do that. That's why mom and pop joints are so unique and so the backbone of our country, because they are also the ones, not just the big fast food chains, but whether it's a little barbecue place, a little pizza place, little. I don't see many burger joints, unique burger joints anymore. I don't. We used to have some around here in the South. There's a reason you would want to go to maybe Foley or Opp or Birmingham or Pell City or barbecue in Tuscaloosa, or because it's the Dreamland that was where Dreamland was. It was nowhere else. If you want Dreamland, you went to Tuscaloosa and got barbecue. That was a treat. That was a big thing, like 25 years ago or so, or 30 years ago. Now we got Dreamlands, sprinkled around the state now, and they're still good. Or a reason to go to East Aboga, or a reason to go to Gadsden or Anniston to go have a steak somewhere, or a decent burger, or this place has really good salad because they do, etc. They're not chains, or they're privately owned, being able to keep afloat, and when they are able to make a profit, they might be able to open up another store somewhere. I remember a burger joint in Pell City, Jack and Jill's. It's no longer there. It's long gone from years and years ago. But and they were probably in competition with McDonald's, when McDonald's was just down the street from them. Actually, I think the McDonald's ended up moving to where the Jack and Jill's location used to be, if I remember correctly. It was either McDonald's or Jack's, but they were almost all right there together, and even a Dairy Queen used to be in one building, almost right next to each other. Not quite, but yeah, I'm going a little long. I didn't mean to go this long, but yeah. To finish the story, Jack and Jill's, they went out of business like 30 plus years ago, but I always wanted to go there as a kid, and I thought, ooh, cool. That's a burger joint I've never heard of before. I want to go there. Can we go there? And I always mention, and we drive past it, drive past it, drive past it. I'm like, man, I really want to try one of their burgers. Never happened. Because we really didn't eat out that much as a family. We would on occasion. Sometimes we would stop at the Dairy Queen, not really for the food, but more of a treat for their ice cream. My aunt and uncle really liked their ice cream back then. You try to get a Blizzard now, you might want to be ready to put down another mortgage on your house for a Blizzard from Dairy Queen. Like I said, it was almost $30. My son got a combo, substituted his drink for a regular Blizzard. I got like a little combo to make sure I would get a diet drink, and it was almost $30 for tax just for the two of us in a Blizzard. And I'm like, not coming here again. And that was just last summer. So yeah, again, CNN is mentioning part of this, and Yum's U.S. sales and profits. Even though their CEO was like, it actually looks like we're doing a great job of holding on to them. Really? Okay. But, there's just a whole lot of factors in this. And, and as consumers, if you are going to these places and spending your money on this stuff, then yeah, you're seeing smaller portions, higher prices, and fewer people working in the store itself, and they're trying to look at automation. Well, that automation is going to cost money as well. Maintenance for the new AI automated stuff is going to cost something as well. Not just maintaining the building, keeping it clean, keeping the restrooms clean, making sure the building is in shape, and following the county or city's the words on the top of my brain. I'm losing my memory, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, everything costs something, and when one hitch gets out of the good get along and gets askew, the business model is shot, and they are trying to make up for it by increasing their prices, because otherwise it would be maybe two people working at some major food chain that there's thousands around the country with to be able to stay afloat. So, yeah. I mean, people talk about the evils of capitalism. Oh, they can do whatever they can charge whatever they want. Yes and no. They want to try to make the food as cheap as possible based on their business model so they can make a profit. Whether it's a big chain or a little chain or a single owner private business, whatever it is, food or otherwise. So spend your money wisely. I don't even eat out for lunch anymore. I haven't been able to. I've been told not to since 2015. Once our charging got out of whack, and we don't have credit cards anymore. But I still have a fear of I can't eat out because my wife will know kind of issue. But at the same time, it's helped us save some money because we're not going out and eating out so much. So things to think about. But yeah. There's a lot of fast food stuff that we miss. Sometimes we'll go out and get something. There's certain little places we do like to go, and when we go, we try to be as smart as we can on what we're getting. Most of the time, we never go in and sit down anymore. It's like I go and pick it up and take it to go and bring it back to the house for us to have a lunch or a dinner. And as much as I do not want to give money to Subway, my wife loves Subway. I would prefer Jersey Mike's, even though their prices are all up very, very high too for what it is. But even if you get a buy one get one foot long at Subway, it's still just absolutely ridiculous for the amount of the amount of food that you're getting compared to the price. When not that long ago, I may be thinking of maybe a generation ago. I'm just over 50, but yeah, lunch used to be a 3 spot, a 4 spot, a 5 spot maybe. Now it's like double that. So their little price here, which although grocery prices are still high and just rose 1.3% overall in 2023 compared to dining out, which surged 5.2%. No, it feels like it's surged 200%. When a lunch used to be $4 to $5 for one person, now it's $10. Now it's double that. 5.2% is not double. If your lunch used to be $5, what is 5% of $5? $1? Not even that, really. 20% of that would be $1. No. We have seen dining out surge, especially at fast food joints, almost 200%. Or twice as much. I'll say twice as much, because I might be off on that. Twice as much than it used to be. And it's just atrocious. But I don't need to be going on and on about fast food. And why does this matter? Because all these, whether it's a big chain or a little chain, every business that we have helps contribute in some way to the moving of money through the country, from the big guys to the little guys to the mid guys to the food to the consumers, and what we choose and where we're going to go to get a bite to eat if we're out and in a rush and we actually need something to eat or want something to eat, and we're like, oh gosh, well, how much money do I have? I mean, you know, not many people keep cash on hand anymore, but apparently, you know, some places will give you a discount, like Crystal, that are, if you're paying in cash as opposed to a debit card or credit card or whatever. I would do not use credit cards. Just don't. But we'll see you next time. Didn't mean to go 26 minutes on the death of fast food, but we're seeing it. We are seeing it. And I'll let you know this a couple of months ago. It is the year 2024. Someone who's on their deathbed is still trying to campaign to be president again for another 4 years.